And now, Anna Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella. What? Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 4 ugly, mean stepsisters named Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona. Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona made Cinderella do all the chores. Sweep the floors. Wash the dishes. Do it all. Said Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona all together. One day, the king and Quadrillions messengers said, "Hear ye! Hear ye! The king of Quadrillion is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Forting." But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. "He's going to marry me," said Fiona. Ophelia said, "No way, Fiona! He's going to marry me." Ursula said, "Both of you are wrong! He's going to marry me." Ramona said, "All 3 of you are wrong! He's going to marry me." Later, Cinderella is so sad because she can't go to the ball and marry Prince Forte, while her fairy godmother asks her what's wrong by saying, "Why are you crying, Cinderella?" Cinderella responds, "I got lots of chores to be done. I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Forting." Cinderella's fairy godmother said, "I can help with a bit of magic." Cinderella's fairy godmother chants the magic words, "Quiddity, quaddity, quaddity, quoo," and waves her magic wand. Because of that, all of Cinderella's chores are all done. But Cinderella's fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, "Cinderella, go fetch me a pumpkin." Luckily, Cinderella has 4 pumpkins. Cinderella's fairy godmother said, and then chants the magic words, "Quiddity, quaddity, quaddity, quoo," and waves her magic wand to turn the 4 pumpkins into a handsome coach drawn by 8 strong horses. And then Cinderella's clothes into a gathered crowd. Cinderella said, "I've never seen such a quadtastic gown. And get a lot of my glass slippers." Her fairy godmother said, "Have fun, mighty Cinderella. But I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will turn back to the way it was before." Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Fortune was wondering who he should marry. Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona said all together, "He's walking towards me." But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Fortune dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realizes it's midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost both her glass slippers. Prince Fortune was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled all around Quadrillion to find her, and brought the 2 tiny glass slippers with him. He knocked on the door of the home where Cinderella and her stepsisters live, but instead of Cinderella, he finds Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona. He then said, "Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Kitty and Fiona tried on these glass slippers. Fiona at first, but her feet are too big. Ophelia said, but her feet are too small. Ursula and Ramona did the same thing, but their feet don't fit either. Suddenly, Prince 14 notices Swarla's sweet singing. The glass slippers fit! Swarla gets so excited because she's happy to have her Prince 14 back. And they both lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And if you want to see some sequels, tell your friends about it. And then, take care, Andrew Stores. Bye. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 49erella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young adult girl named 49erella. 49erella had 9 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Farah, Olivia, Ramona, Tanya, Yvonne, Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella. All 9 of them constantly made fun of 49erella and made her do all the chores. 49er wench, sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said them all together. One day, the king of 49ville's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, hear ye! The king of 49ville is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Non-Quadragentupling. But 49erella is not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. They are overjoyed. They ran with huge excitement and picked out dresses to wear to the ball, but argue over who will Prince Non-Quadragentupling marry. Later, 49erella is so sad doing chores about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Non-Quadragentupling. Whatever will I do? She went first. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and comforts 49erella. There, no, 49erella. I can help with a bit of magic. Nobody will know it's you, she said. She then waves her magic wand. And because of that, 49erella's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, 49erella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, 49erella has 49 pumpkins and 98 mice. 49erella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 49 pumpkins into a handsome coach, the 98 mice into horses, and the 49erella's brick clothes into a gown and crown. 49erella says, I've never seen such a Non-Quadragentupling-tastic gown! And get a load of my glass slippers! Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? And climbs into the coach. 49erella's fairy godmother says, well, you can't, but have fun, 49erella, but I will warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will go back to normal. And so, 49erella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Non-Quadragentupling was wondering who he should marry. Wondering who to marry, son? asked the wise, kind-hearted, and bold King 49ville, to which Prince Non-Quadragentupling responds, yes, father. You're going to marry me, Prince, not a quadrupling, said Farah, the oldest of 49erella's ugly, mean, wicked stepsister. Farah, wrong. You're Prince, not a quadrupling. You're going to marry me, said Olivia. Both of you are wrong. Prince, not a quadrupling. You're going to marry me, said Ramona. The rest say, you're going to marry me, Prince, not a quadrupling. But Prince, not a quadrupling, did not angrily denies the request. Suddenly, 49erella arrives at the ball just in time. Prince, not a quadrupling, sees her, walks straight towards her, and says, you must be 49erella. May I please have this dance? To which 49erella responds, yes, I would be happy to. And so, 49erella and Prince, not a quadrupling, dance happily together. But later, 49erella realized it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she ran so fast that she left one of her glass slippers behind. Prince, not a quadrupling, was really worried that he might never see her again. The king of 49ville comforts him by saying, there, now, son. I think we'll be able to find 49erella. And so, the next day, Prince, not a quadrupling, and the king of 49ville traveled all around 49ville and tried to find 49erella, who captured Prince, not a quadrupling's heart and brought the glass slipper she lost with them. By the time they arrived, they knock on the door of the home where 49erella and her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 49erella, they find Farah, Olivia, Ramona, Tanya, Yvonne, Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella. Prince, not a quadrupling, then says, ladies, my father and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on these glass slippers? Farah is first, but her foot is too big. Olivia's next, but her foot is too small. Nonsense! It fits! She said. The rest did the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince, not a quadrupling, and the king of 49ville noticed 49erella's sweet singing. Prince, not a quadrupling, and the king of 49ville, your majesty, is that you guys? She hollered excitedly, to which the king of 49ville says, 49erella, my dear daughter-in-law, we found you. Will you marry Prince, not a quadrupling? 49erella and Prince, not a quadrupling, are now married. They, along with the king of 49ville, lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrew Stewards. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and Andrew Does Everything, and buy our merchandise at AndrewDoesEverything.com. And take care. Bye.